from Brooklyn Center High School. It's 12 Sports coverage of high school football. Hi and welcome everybody. It's homecoming night here in Brooklyn Center. Along with Bill Hunstock, I'm Joe Moline, and tonight it's the Centaurs of Brooklyn Center hosting the Sting from Spectrum High School. And Bill, tonight it's a story of two head coaches, and they're both in their second year with different challenges ahead of them. At the Spectrum side, it's a third-year football program at a charter school. He's really trying to build this thing up from the ground up. At the Centaurs, we all know they have a very proud tradition in history here, and they're trying to restore that tradition here in year two of this coach.
Exactly. Try to bring back some of the style and some of the pride that Brooklyn Center had in years past. And like you said, Seth Mills at Spectrum is trying to build something. He's trying to start from the ground, so he's building his foundation right now. He wants to try to get his kids to play football, and they're just a very basic football team. Not going to see anything fancy out of those guys, and that's how he's going to look to build his program.
For Spectrum, they come into this game 0-4, and they played Brooklyn Center very tough last year, lost by a touchdown. So they're really looking to try to get a win over the Centaurs team here. But it's a team that doesn't really make any trick plays or make any bones about it. They're a smash-mouth football team. They're going to run the football,
right,
and they're going to try to make you stop them.
Right. They are a traditional run football team. Coach Mills told us that they're going to be running the ball about 80% of the time. They're running out of a very unique formation, which we'll get into a little bit later during the game, but they actually run an old-fashioned single wing. Now, the only people who know what that means are people my age and older, so we'll get into that a little bit. But, yeah, they're very much a basic football team. They're going to grind it out. They feel if they can have some success running the ball, they won't throw it at all.
For Brooklyn Center, they will put the ball up in the air a little bit, but they're trying to get back to the ground game themselves simply because they have so many good ball carriers and athletes that can carry that football.
Yeah, they really need to depend on a wide variety of people to handle the ball and touch the ball. So their quarterback, Whaley, is going to be distributing the ball to some pretty good athletes, both by passing and by running. But Coach Finley said they really feel like they have to establish their running game in order to throw the ball. So a little bit different from Spectrum that wants to just grind the ball out. BC wants to set some things up with both their running and their passing game and try to be able to balance things out a little bit.
Another storyline here tonight is we've been to schools like Maple Grove and Wayzata just a couple of weeks ago, and some big of these big 6A schools. This is kind of a game here. We're very close to the city,
that's right,
but it's small town high school football. We'll see a lot of players going both ways tonight.
Yeah, I think there's about 7 or 8 guys on both sides that are going both ways, and that's an interesting mix because the guys don't get much time to be with their coaches between series and things like that. So it makes the coaching job one that's got to be done on the fly, on the field all the time, and the players have to be in very good physical condition to handle it. There's not going to be a lot of substitutions tonight. Both teams are going to go with the guys they show up with.
It's Spectrum and Brooklyn Center on homecoming night at Brooklyn Center High School, and we kick it off next on Channel 12 Sports.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Welcome back to Brooklyn Center High School on homecoming night here tonight for the Centaurs, as we are just about to kick things off. Spectrum to return the opening kick here tonight. Brooklyn Center going to start on defense in their home purples.
Morris to kick it off for the Centaurs.
Sylvanus Morris, the kicker for the Centaurs, will kick it off. Not a lot of height on this one. Lands at the 20-yard line, and it's returned up the right side by Spectrum's Connor Hansen before he's taken down. And let's go down to the third member of our group, Lindsey Gensel.
Thanks, guys. A gorgeous night for football at Brooklyn Center High School. It's homecoming. We caught up with Coach Willie Finley before the game. It's kind of the tale of two coaches tonight, if you will. Coach Finley played at Minneapolis South, then went over to Concordia St. Paul, going for his first homecoming win tonight. On the other side of the ball, the Spectrum Sting head coach, Seth Mills, a Kansas native, coached in Oklahoma, literally joined the Spectrum Sting staff 1 week before joining the team last season. They're going for their first win tonight. No doubt some good football to be played here as Brooklyn Center goes for their homecoming win in front of the home crowd.
All right, great job, Lindsay. Thank you very much. We'll be hearing from her throughout the ball game tonight. But first is the Spectrum High School football team with Spencer Moss leading things at the quarterback position, handing it off right side, and that's what we expect to see from Spectrum tonight as Coach Mills brought with some of that old school football from Oklahoma and Kansas, and it's a handoff right side for a 4-yard pickup on first down. So second down and 6 out of the shotgun and the single wing set. It's a keeper from one of the running backs in the background. And Bill, you're going to kind of educate our fans here on this Spectrum offense now.
That's right, because I'm the only old guy around here. But no, they're running a good old single wing, and I mean old by that. This is not a spread offense. Obviously, they have 2 tight ends, a wing back, a fullback, a tailback, and a quarterback. And this is a power running offense.
On third down, it's Harlan again, his second carry of the game. We do have a flag on the play. He was stopped short after a 1-yard gain. As Shane Harlan was tackled, the flag came from the backside there. We'll have to see if it's on the offense and holding. We'll probably get this one declined, and Brooklyn Center will get its first stop of the game. Brooklyn Center captain's being consulted here, so it will be on Spectrum. Brooklyn Center looking to be aggressive here. They're going to take the penalty rather than give them a 4th and 4. Going to move them back and take a long third down situation. We have a block in the back, so perhaps it's the 10 yards that's attractive to Brooklyn Center. But you also mentioned, Bill, too, with the lack of passing game Spectrum has, that's probably why Brooklyn Center feels confident here on third down.
Exactly, and you want to play field position as well. If you can back them up into their own zone a little bit, you got a chance of getting better field position when you get the ball.
The shotgun goes to, as they throw it incomplete there, Harlan rolled to his right, throws that one incomplete. And on the long third down play, taking the penalty does pay off as Spencer Moss threw that one incomplete. First pass attempt of the game for Moss. And now the punting unit will come on for Spectrum. Spectrum, a charter school out of Elk River, drawing students from the Elk River, Rogers, Otsego, Dayton, Zimmerman, Anoka, Ramsey area. And back to punt for Spectrum is Spencer Moss, the quarterback, a dual threat. Punts this one back, and we'll get our first look at Tyrell Beasley, who tries to field this one. He's unable to as it rolls out of bounds, takes a Spectrum roll, and will go out of bounds at the 25-yard line of Brooklyn Center.
That was a nice kick, Joe. Ball got off in very good order between the bounce between the numbers and the sideline, and got a good Spectrum roll and went out of bounds at the 25. That's a good way to take the field position battle to Brooklyn Center.
So we'll get our first look at this Brooklyn Center offense led by junior quarterback Chester Whaley. We saw Chester Whaley in the first game of the season last year in his sophomore season in a split quarterback role. He's won the starting position now and comes out with a single back in the backfield. And he runs it, hands it off on a draw play on first down. That ball goes right up the middle, and Brooklyn Center will pick up a good 6 yards on that carry, ball carrier being Jason Bardo.
And what we'll see with Brooklyn Center is a little bit more up-tempo game, and we'll see a little bit more spread-out type of offense to try to get the ball in more people's hands.
On second down and 4, Whaley back to pass, looked right now, goes deep left, and the coverage is there, and it's going to be intercepted. There's a flag on the play, but I would be surprised if this is on the defense because in such good position was Ben Mackey for that interception. I'm guessing it's going to be offensive pass interference.
But certainly Mackey had the inside position on a ball that was just slightly underthrown. So if it is against the Centaurs,
oh wow, holding. going to be called holding on Mackey. Mackey looked like he defended that as good as you possibly could. Let's take a second look. Boy, that's tough, Bill.
That's a tough call. That's a tough one to rebound. Kid makes a nice play like that. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down. That'll put the ball up past the 45 to the 47-yard line.
Well, the official on that side must have saw some grabbing of the jersey or something. Call that defensive holding. Nonetheless, it's a really difficult penalty to take if you're Spectrum. It looked like you just caused a nice turnover, got the stop, got the ball back, and instead it's first down. Brooklyn Center, their first down of the game, and Willie's now out of the shotgun with one back in the backfield. He hands it off to Bardo. Bardo goes right side, finds a little bit of running room, and we have another flag on the play as he's going to pick up over 10 yards, another first down into Spectrum territory. But my assumption tells me this one's coming back as we will see a holding penalty now on Brooklyn Center.
So both teams getting hit with big penalties here early on, Joe. Two illegal block in the back and two back-to-back holding penalties now, one against each team.
Saw the nice running ability there of Bardo, though, as he looked like he was going to be approached there for a no gain, maybe even a loss, but he found some running room, saw some of the things he can do with the football, but that run gets negated. Brings up first down now and 21 as that holding penalty happened a yard in the backfield. First down and 21 now. Brooklyn Center on their opening possession of the game here on homecoming night. Whaley hands it off to Bardo left side. And he's on the run. He found the edge. Got a nice block from the outside from his wide receiver, Donnell Carr, and outran the linebacking core from Spectrum. Got back close to the original line of scrimmage and picked up about 8 yards on that carry.
7 yards, 8 yards on the carry.
Now this is what we expect from Brooklyn Center, to be able to use their speed to attack the flanks against the Spectrum defense.
Whaley out of the gun. We'll have Bardo the deep back behind him. Back to pass on second down and 12. Looks to the near side of the field. It's caught there by Carr. Gets away from two defenders, now a third. And he falls forward after a Brooklyn Center first down all the way up to the Spectrum 40-yard line.
He carries the ball to the 40-yard line. That is a Centaur first down.
And here we see Ramel Carr doing a very nice job of avoiding tackles. Makes a nice outside-in move there, another shuffle move. Does a good job of making the play, and the linebacker number 34, Marburg, who missed him on the first time, came back and made the play on the second effort.
Whaley to pass on first down and 10, looks to the near side of the field, has a receiver, and again he gets away from a tackle and gets upfield. That time on the reception was Landon Kirkwood. The flag comes in late on the play as Kirkwood got what looks to be another Brooklyn Center first down and a pickup of 11 yards. Let's see what the penalty is. Right now, the athleticism on the outer edges giving Spectrum some issues, Bill.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and they've got they've got a linebacker. Spectrum has a linebacker outside on a wide receiver, and that's a tough matchup at any level, whether it's a small high school, big high school, college, NFL. It's very, very tough.
Personal foul, I think a late hit at the end of this play.
Brings the ball down to the 15-yard
See
line.
Kirkwood getting away from a tackle, makes a nice move there, and takes a hit well out of bounds. So the right call was made there.
Yep, that's a personal foul.
15-yard penalty on Spectrum. So that brings the ball all the way down to the 15-yard line now. Three penalties for 35 yards already in this game. Whaley fields the low snap, hands off to Barto. Barto gets away from a couple of tacklers, nearly broke it out the outer edge, but did pick up a few yards on that first down, or on that first down carry.
Taken down on the play
A nice slide move in the line of scrimmage by Barto. Looked like he was going to be stopped in the backfield, but he makes a nice slide step and gets a couple of yards on the plus side.
Whaley out of the shotgun on 2nd down and 7, looking to throw right, and he underthrows his intended target. The receiver on that side of the field was Charles Wiley. So that'll bring up 3rd down on the first incomplete pass of the game for Whaley.
You see that ball was just thrown right at the feet of Wiley, and not a well-thrown ball, Joe. That was just not what we've seen from Chester Whaley so far tonight.
Whaley 2 of 3. Of course, had an interception that was called back on a penalty, so that won't stay in the stats. Perhaps stays in his mind. 3rd down and 7. Shotgun gives it to Bartow. Bartow up the middle. And it looks like he's got enough for the 1st down, and he's got enough for a touchdown as he falls into the end zone. 12-yard touchdown run by the senior Jason Bartow on homecoming night puts Brooklyn Center up 6-0.
It was a nice run by Bartow. He got a really nice seam between the left guard and the center. Found that area and made 2 linebackers miss as he went through it 12 yards into the end zone.
Extra point now being attempted by Wiley. High snap, fielded cleanly, but it gets blocked. Extra point gets blocked, so the score will remain 6-0.
Attempt is blocked. Centaur 6, Sting 0.
Here we see Bartow getting into the linebacker zone, breaking a couple of tackles, and on into the end zone.
Well, Jason Bartow, the featured running back on that opening drive, 4 carries, 29 yards, including the 12-yard touchdown run. As we take one last look now at that blocked extra point. Well, it was a nice drive for Brooklyn Center, but
yes, it was.
Went 75 yards, but they really were helped by the penalties from Spectrum in this game. 3 penalties, 35 yards already on the Sting.
Yeah, and that the big penalties were the hold on the pass interception and the illegal hit out of bounds that sent the ball all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Morris will kick off for the 2nd time here tonight for Brooklyn Center. This one goes to the right side. It's going to roll close to being out of bounds, but they decide to field it instead of letting it go out of bounds. Perhaps not the right decision made there by Connor Hansen, as he only got it back to about the 20-yard line, where he would have got it at the 35 had he let that go out of bounds.
The kids have to know what their field position is, and they got to know where they are.
So coming back out now for the Spectrum offense will be Spencer Moss, the sophomore quarterback, leading the way for Spectrum, and an interesting formation in the backfield. Who's going to get the ball? Ball gets snapped to the deep back there, and that's Spencer Moss on the carry. Boy, that's really an interesting formation. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, in the wing T, Joe, with the fullback or the tailback and the quarterback right next to each other, the center can snap to either one. One of the things we may see is what is called the tailback or the fullback spinner, and where the tailback will take the ball and he'll fake to the other back and actually make a 180-degree spin and turn right back into the line of scrimmage.
Moss takes this one again, runs left side. He has the first Spectrum first down of the game before he's wrapped up by a host of Brooklyn Center Centaurs, including Thomas Mason. So a pickup right there of about 7 yards on the carry. Nice run by Moss.
And the wing T offense is designed. You'll notice that they run an unbalanced line. There'll be 4 guys and a tight end to one side and 1 guy and a tight end to the other.
And here comes Harlan taking the sweep to the right side, and he gets the feet knocked out of him by Beasley, but he picked up 4 yards on that run. Maybe 4.5, 5 yards.
So we see here's the power sweep. Both guards pull, lead by the fullback and the tailback. A lot of people on that unbalanced side, Joe.
Harlan getting his second carry of the game, that being his best so far. Pick up a 5 yards, brings up 2nd down and 5 now. So Harlan and Moss, the deep backs in the backfield, that fullback in tight. Here comes a little bit of a counter reverse. Ball goes up the middle, and a nice little misdirection play. Successful for Spectrum in getting that ball to midfield and a first down.
That's the wingback reverse. Ball snapped to the quarterback. He hands off to the wingback, being led by a guard.
Ben Mackey,
who
the
pulls.
carrier.
Ben Mackey gets about 7-8 yards and gets the ball up to midfield.
So Mackey picks up 10 officially on that one. First down and 10 now for Spectrum on their second first down. Now it's Harlan. Off tackle right side. Got a nice little surge from that offensive line and a pickup of 6 yards. We're seeing that ground game for the Sting now. What they envisioned of being successful is looking much better here this second drive.
Absolutely. And they're actually running what they want to do a little bit better now. And like I said, this is a power running offense. And what we'll see up front, we'll see a lot of double teaming and trap blocking. So you'll see down blocking, double teaming, and guards and tackles pulling and going across the line of scrimmage.
So Spectrum now into Brooklyn Center territory. Second down and 4. Now that inside reverse, give to Mackey again. Mackey gets a nice little block up the middle and a surge forward as he picks up 9 yards on that one before he was tackled by Davia Gabor.
Again, the wingback reverse. You see the guard pulling and leading ahead. The fullback fills for the guard, so it looks like it's a power play to the strong side, and it's actually a reverse back to the short side of the formation. But the point of attack is just past the center. It isn't all the way out to the outside like you'd think a reverse would be. It's a tighter one. And Mackey gets the ball in the backfield and then turns right up behind the guard who's leading. So far, he's gotten 18 yards on 2 carries. Not a bad way to start.
Not at all, as you see the Brooklyn Center coaching staff talking to its players and going over what they saw here on this drive, which has been successful for Spectrum. These timeouts used, I think, kind of to coach up the players a little bit for something they saw. You mentioned with so many players playing on both sides of the ball, you don't get times with your players. So these timeouts are critical not only for the rest, but then, of course, the coaching that goes on.
Right, and it's really hard to, when you've got 7 guys going both ways, it's really hard to make very many adjustments during the game. You have to really be able to communicate with your players on the field from the sideline.
Third down for Spectrum. First down rather. First down and 10. As this one goes right up the middle. Moss, the ball carrier, and he picks up a tough 4 yards. But that's what we're seeing right now from the Sting, is they are getting at least 4 yards a rip right now.
Yeah, they're really hitting their seams, and their offensive line is getting off the ball in pretty good order in this series, and they're doing a good job.
Here comes a shift for you. Oh, they're going to actually call it a false start, I think. On that shift right there, I think someone for Brooklyn Center jumped across the line of scrimmage, so we had encroachment on the Centaurs.
Wow. Didn't see that.
You saw a line shift there. How's this for a trick play?
Well, this is where they're shifting their unbalanced side from right to left.
And Whaley just kind of walked across the line of scrimmage. Second penalty of the game on Brooklyn Center. This one gives Spectrum a nice situation here. Second down and 2. Ball goes right up the middle as Harlan was on the carry that time, and he needed 2, and he got about 2.5. Give me a first down for Spectrum, thanks in large part to that encroachment penalty on the Centaurs.
Absolutely.
25-yard line. That is a Sting first down.
One of the things with this single wing offense is I've said it too many times already, but it's a power running game, and their keys would be watching the guards and the fullback. They will help you figure out where the ball is going. Of course, the guy with the ball does too, but But the blocking of the fullback is absolutely imperative in this offense.
And that got him again.
Here we shift again.
The shift got Whaley again. Same player for Brooklyn Center jumps off sides on that shift.
Timeout, Sting.
Oh, they got a timeout. Did they not call the encroachment?
I guess not. I don't.
There we go.
Somebody definitely stepped in the neutral zone.
Yeah, so they're going to actually get a timeout here on Spectrum. So Spectrum will talk things over. First down and 10. The Sting driving here after giving up a touchdown to Brooklyn Center on their first drive of the game. There's the other fall sports action as we already in the second half of the season in football already, and volleyball and other fall sports already starting to get to those critical moments, and a lot of good things coming up here on Channel 12 Sports. And of course this year a lot of it is live on Channel 12, so that makes it even more exciting.
Interesting that we're already halfway through the season. Everybody's starting to line up, trying to think about and getting lined up for the playoffs and how the playoffs are going to be handled this year. And
these two teams actually do play in the same section, so critical game here tonight for that section alignment. They're both in section 4AA. Spectrum right now at the bottom of that section with an 0-4 record. Brooklyn Center right in the heart of it, 2-2. Here comes that reverse play to Mackey. This time he's going right side. He broke a tackle in the backfield, and he's going to go. Mackey from the 25-yard line and into the end zone for a 25-yard touchdown run as Spectrum ties it up.
Well, that was a nicely executed reverse, and well done by Spectrum as he runs out of Mackey runs out of the arms of Tyrell Beasley. And he's got enough speed once he gets to the corner and gets a little bit of space, he's going to be gone. And that was one of the things that Coach Finley was concerned about, was that Mackey has pretty good speed, and if he gets open, he's gonna torch him.
Spectrum to go for 2 here, and they botched the snap. Brooklyn Center will pick it up. That'll kill the play as Beasley scooped it up. He wanted to run it the other way, but play is dead in high school football at that point. So it's 6-6. Neither team able to convert on point after attempts. Let's take a look at that fumble.
Ooh. That's just a poorly handled snap. It looked like Hurlin took his eyes off the ball right before it hit his hands.
6-6 is where we stand. Brooklyn Center scoring on a 12-yard touchdown run. And of course it was the answer there for Spectrum with Ben Mackey running it in for 25 yards. Ben Mackey, how's that yards per carry? 3 carries right now for 44 yards.
That works out to be a pretty good average.
Well, we'll take a look at Brooklyn Center and their featured running back, Jason Bartow.
Both defenses are going to have to figure out how to control the running game. Otherwise, we're going to see it's just going to be grind them out all the way down the field by both teams. Spectrum has thrown the ball once.
Moss to kick off. He kicks this one onto the ground and right out of bounds. So Brooklyn Center will get pretty good field position here on the penalty.
We go to 35.
At their 35-yard line.
Penalties really plagued this Spectrum defense in the opening drive for Brooklyn Center. We'll see if they can get things ironed out there. They had a late hit penalty. They also had a pass interference, or actually a defensive holding penalty, which may or may not have been the right call. Had an interception overturned on that play. So first down and 10 for the Centaurs offense.
This is a live broadcast.
And it looks like Brooklyn Center was missing an offensive lineman as Brennan Hodge comes onto the field late there. Hodge was not involved in the huddle. Now it's Tyrell Beasley who's going to be running the show for Brooklyn Center. And the Centaurs have to waste a timeout out of a change of possession because they didn't have enough linemen on the field. There must be an injury or some kind of rest being taken place by their starting guard, because a replacement guard came running onto the field there, Brennan Hodge.
And I don't see anybody on the sideline.
Well, actually, and Hodge might have been a starter as well, too, actually. So I think Hodge just got a little lost, maybe.
Yeah.
In the heat of the game, but a mistake that you wish to have ironed out by week 5.
Yeah, I didn't say who it was from or what it was. It was just a schedule of games with blanks in it. I'm like, okay, I guess we'll be talking about it. I assumed it was from you.
Well, the challenge now is for both of the defenses to try to figure out how they're going to control and handle the running game.
First down and 10 now for Brooklyn Center with a new quarterback in the game. Tyrell Beasley running the show now, the senior for Brooklyn Center. Out of the shotgun, pitches it right side to Bartow. Bartow's got good blocking on the right side, cuts it back, spins out of a tackle. And Bartow will pick up about 8 yards on that carry.
Bartow does a good job, picks up a couple of good blocks, avoids an arm tackle, and gets a pretty good gain of 8 yards there.
Each team with 4 first downs on their touchdown drive. Brooklyn Center getting back to the running game again. Beasley with Bartow, the deep back in the backfield. Handoff goes up the middle, flag on the field. Nope, it's a fake handoff as Beasley gets it on the keeper. And you see the athleticism for Beasley. A second flag flies in as he is deep into Spectrum territory. And he cuts across the middle once again. Oh, and no one can catch it from the sting. He's all the way down inside that 20-yard line. What a run by Beasley. But this one is all for naught, most likely. With 2 flags on the field, I imagine we have 1 holding, if not 2.
Yeah, and I think one way or the other, well, obviously it's going to come back, because I don't think both the penalties are going to be against Spectrum.
So it will be on Spectrum, and it will bring this run back. Beasley, probably the most frustrated of all the Centaur team on that one. We'll see where the referees end up putting the ball based on where the penalty happened. They're going to mark it off from the 42 and back 10 yards from there. So it'll be down at the 32-yard line.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. Brings the ball back to the 33-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 12 for the Centaurs.
And you can see the speed that Beasley has on the replay here. And he's a pretty shifty runner.
Second down and 12 now for Brooklyn Center after that penalty. Beasley, 1 wide receiver to the left, 2 tight into the right with Bartow, the lone back in the backfield. And the handoff goes to Bartow. He kicks it out to the right side, shifts in the middle, gets caught from behind, and he's going to be tackled after a very short gain. Nice job defensively by the Sting that time, slowing that one down. And on the tackle was Nash Gleason.
They got pretty good penetration on the defense that time, and 2 or 3 people right to the point of attack and surrounded Bartow, and he had nowhere to go.
Big third down upcoming now for the Centaurs. Beasley would be out of the shotgun. We have yet to see Beasley pass. Whaley on his opening drive was 2 of 3 passing for 29 yards. Beasley with 1 receiver to each side. He's a tight end on the left side, and Bartow the lone back in the backfield. He's going to run left side, use Bartow as a blocker, but he has got nowhere to go. Turn it back to the near side of the field, try to use his speed to get to the outside. Looking for a couple of blocks. Being dragged was Spencer Moss on the tackle, but Moss was able to stop him before a first down, but Beasley did pick up 7.
41-yard line, that'll be 4th and 4 for the Centaurs.
Yep. Well, this is what athleticism can do for you. Beasley takes off to his left, gets pretty well corralled, just makes a 180-degree turn, says, I'll just outrun everybody going the other direction. Oh, there's another one walking there. And gets a pretty nice gain of 7 yards, but still leaves them 4th and 4. I don't know if we're in 4-down territory now for Centaurs or not.
The clock is running here, and the Centaurs are trying to figure out what to do. Centaurs are not taking the field here on 4th down and 4. They're gonna. It's like they're just gonna take a delay of game penalty here, and then punt the football. I don't know if that's a situation where get a little bit more rest or what.
I don't quite understand that. It makes no real sense. You know.
4th down and 8.
So after the 5-yard penalty, Centaurs are now on the field. They're still not really sure what they're going to do. They still have 1 timeout.
The game clock is not running.
Another delay of game penalty here on Brooklyn Center.
No, they took a timeout, but that's their final timeout of the half. Burned them up in the first quarter. I'm not sure I quite understand.
I don't know if they're without a punter right now, and
Yeah.
they're just trying to figure out who's going to punt the football.
Just throw a long interception.
So the Centaurs now do take a timeout, their final one.
That is the Centaur's 3rd timeout.
And they're still on the sidelines here meeting with the coaching staff, and I don't think they quite know what they're doing yet.
Yeah,
Here comes what I believe to be the punting unit. After much deliberation.
Delay game and a timeout.
Alex Johnson's out to punt the football for Brooklyn Center. Good snap. Johnson gets the punt away. It's a decent punt, end over end into Spectrum territory. They had no one back to return the ball. They were really trying to sell out and block that thing. And downing it is Ronell Carr for Brooklyn Center. So Spectrum will take over, tie game 6-6, and the Sting, after a nice drive on their opening, after stalling out 3-0 on their opening drive, and Brooklyn Center scoring, the tables have turned a little bit here. Now Spectrum put a nice drive together, and Brooklyn Center's offense gets stalled out for a 3-0 after a penalty.
So now we got to look to see what Brooklyn Center's defense is going to do against this power running from the wing T formation that Spectrum is presenting.
Handoff goes straight up the gut. Actually, scratch that no handoff. Moss just takes it straight up the gut.
That was a trap play though. They pulled the you notice they pulled a guard, and it's just a straight ahead trap in the wing T offense. That would be the fullback carrying the ball, but it's the same blocking scheme.
Well, and with the quarterback in kind of quotations running the football,
right,
you get an extra blocker. And it happens again. The shift up front from Spectrum forces Brooklyn Center to jump across the neutral zone.
I think that we will be seeing Spectrum do that shift until Brooklyn Center holds still on the line of scrimmage.
Sting, 1st down.
5th first down of the game now for the Sting. Ball at the Spectrum 39-yard line. Oh, the fumble ball on the ground, and Spectrum was able to pick it up quickly as Shane Herlin dropped it immediately and was able to scoop it up himself. Should be a loss of 1 on the play.
That's the second time that Herlin's dropped the ball on the snap here. looks like he's taking his eyes off the ball right before it gets to his hands, and you just cannot do that.
Second down now. Inside trap reverse play by Mackey, and that's the first time they stopped him for less than 9 yards on that carry. They picked up about 4 there, Bill, but Brooklyn Center reacted a little bit better this time around.
Yeah, that was pretty well executed on the defense that time. BC guys stayed at home, and linebacker was able to step up and make the play.
Advantage Brooklyn Center, I think, in this situation. They got a third down and a long 6 with time dwindling here in the first quarter. This could possibly be the last play of the quarter. It's going to stick with Moss, and Moss was met there at the line of scrimmage, just after the line of scrimmage, as the Centaurs defense closed in nicely and make a nice stop. In on the tackle for Brooklyn Center. Dakota Woolhouse, one of the Centaurs in there. Also Thomas Mason making the tackle. 3-yard pickup.
That is the end of the first
And that will do it for the end of the first quarter. It's been an adventurous up and down 12 minutes of football, but after that 12 minutes, we are tied up 6-6 here in Brooklyn Center on 12 Sports.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Back at Brooklyn Center High School, 6-6 between the Sting and the Centaurs, as the Sting are going for it on 4th down, or they appear to be. And they were going for it, but a delayed game right before they snapped the football.
I can't believe on that play they didn't shift.
Yeah, you think you'd shift, trying to get that free first down, right?
Yeah, why not?
Well, they were going to keep it on the ground to Harrell in there, but it's now instead of the encroachment penalty on Brooklyn Center, we go delay game penalty on Spectrum, and Spectrum will now have to punt the football. This one will not be fielded. Not the best punt in the world, but it will be down at the 35-yard line of Brooklyn Center.
4-yard line, 35-yard line. First and 10, Centaur.
We'll see which Brooklyn Center offense we'll see now on the next possession. A 15-yard punt there for Spectrum. And it will be Beasley leading the charge for Brooklyn Center once again at quarterback. You know, does that surprise you at all, given what Whaley did on that opening drive with a couple of nice completions?
I am a little bit surprised because Whaley does actually throw the ball fairly well, and he's a little bit bigger. He's in one of the tight end positions.
Now it's Beasley. He's going to give it on a draw to Bartow. Bartow runs left side, breaks a tackle. He's still on his feet. He got a great block downfield. Got a huge block from Rommel Carr, and Bartow into Spectrum territory on that run.
And he was pulling up. Looked like he had like a cramp or something right here at the end of this run. And he gets rocked right on the sideline there.
His hamstring's cramping.
Yeah,
in the second quarter, that's not good.
No.
But I actually was going to ask the coaching staff tonight, because I've done a Brooklyn Center game before on a hot night. And tonight's a little bit warmer than most,
Right.
September nights.
That
And-
was in the 80s today.
And all these guys playing both ways, and with the humidity being what it is, I don't know. You
Yeah.
see a lot of cramps in these types of situations. First down and 10 as the Centaurs get into Spectrum territory in that Bartos 17-yard run. Now Beasley on the keeper. He faked the handoff to the guard, and here he goes to the right side. Beasley using his speed, gets to the edge, inside the 20, the 10, draped down, and he found the end zone. 47 yards from Tyrell Beasley.
That's just the way we drew it up in the playbook.
47-yard run by Tyrell Beasley.
Very nice athletic run here. Again, Beasley making a 180-degree turn and then just outrunning everybody on the Spectrum defense.
Did my eyes
to get
deceive
to
me,
the
or
end
did
zone.
he fake a handoff to the point
No,
guard?
he faked the handoff to the wingback.
Oh, to the wingback.
Yeah.
It was 51, so that's what confused me.
Yeah, 51 is lining up as a wingback.
Okay. And a guard. He's a center here on
In
the extra
center
point.
on the extra point. So.
Charles Wiley, the freshman, in to attempt the extra point. This one gets up over the top of the defense and through the uprights.
Kick is good. That brings the score to the Centaurs, 13, Spectrum, 6.
And for an update down on the sidelines, let's go down to Lindsay Gensel.
Thanks, guys. You know, right before the Centaurs went in to kick that field goal for the extra point, Coach had some words for his kicker. You saw him miss in the first quarter. He wanted that one to go up, and of course you saw it go through. But an update on Jason Bardo. We saw him come out with the hamstring cramp. It's an upper hamstring on his right leg. He was being stretched out by a team trainer. He's up moving around, so no doubt we'll see him back in the game when the Centaurs take over on offense here in a few minutes.
Obviously a critical member of this offense for Brooklyn Center. Thanks, Lindsay, for that update. And boy, it's just a wave of emotions here, I think, because Brooklyn Center 1 minute ago seemed like they didn't want to punt the football. They just got the delay game, the penalty. They took a timeout. They're all out of timeouts. They just looked disheveled and then just get the ball to Tyrell Beasley.
Yeah, just let him run. You know, sometimes the simplest thing is the best thing.
Well, let's see if Spectrum has an answer like they did on Brooklyn Center's first touchdown of the game. Morris will kick it off for the Centaurs. And getting under this one for the return is Ben Mackey. Mackey heads up the middle, slashing and taken down at the 35-yard line, where the Sting will take over. Spectrum High School in its third year fielding a football program, growing at school, graduating classes of about 80 to 90 kids, and they also have a middle school up there, so that kind of gives them a little bit of an advantage in terms of charter schools to kind of throw some kids onto the JV team and teach them the Spectrum way.
And like Coach Mills said, last year they had 28 kids on the team. This year they've got 47. So their numbers have grown, and that should make things a little bit better for them depth-wise as they go down the road here.
Fielded a booster club for the first time this year. Some of those important things. Mackey on the give, and this time Brooklyn Center not fooled at all. Good job coming across the line of scrimmage and making that tackle while Tyler Miller, as Miller took him down for no gain.
And Tyler Miller stepped up, got a little bit of help from Rufus Menden, and no gain. That's the first time that play has actually been stopped, but it's been run about 4 or 5 times. So Spectrum's going to have to go into a little deeper into their playbook to try to drive BC off the ball a little bit here.
Second down and 10 for the Sting. This time Mackey, they put the ball on the ground as Mackey was trying to get a handoff there from Moss. And it's going to be Brooklyn Center football, but although they say it's Centaur football, but Spectrum comes up with the ball.
Whaley, I think, got on that.
The football got tangled up there with the fullback, Thomas Ogren, who really hasn't got the ball yet today.
First down, Brooklyn Center.
And Whaley recovers the fumble for Brooklyn Center, and right now Spectrum wanting an explanation on the far sidelines because they kind of they came up with the football at the end.
Yeah, if our guy came out of the pile with the ball, how did you give it to them?
Coach Seth Mills has coached varsity football before in Oklahoma and Kansas. He coached 8-man football. We have 9-man football here in Minnesota. Back there, they have even smaller towns,
right?
And they play 8-man football. That's where his style of play comes from. I don't think Coach Mills was really convinced with that explanation from the officials.
I think he was still left a little bit wondering there.
First turnover of the game,
first
though.
turnover,
Spectrum
see what happens with BC's offense here. Run to Bartow to the right side. Short gain of about 2.
Bartow picks up 2 on first down. Second down and 8 upcoming. Whaley back in the game at quarterback to pass. Throws it across the middle. He had an open target, but just overthrew him. Kirkwood was the intended target. Whaley hangs in there a long time with the football, surveyed the football field, and needed to put a little bit more air to that one to hit his receiver.
And that was a wide open receiver, Kirkwood.
Third down and a long 8 now. Just under 10 minutes to go in this second quarter. Brooklyn Center up 13-6. 3 receivers left out of the shotgun. Whaley looks left. They're going to set up a screen to the near side. Caught by Carr. Carr slashes through a couple of tackles, breaks a couple, gets inside the 25-yard line, but needed to get down to the 22. Didn't quite get there. 2 yards shy, I think, of that first down.
Yeah, they're trying to set up a bubble screen here. Pretty well played by the Sting. Lucky to gain the yardage that he got, but we're going to be 4th and 4 now for BC inside the 25-yard line of the Spectrum Sting. What do you call here, Joe?
Oh, I think it's got to get in the hands of Bartow. Or no, actually it's Beasley that's going to jump in at quarterback. That's the right thing to do there. Whaley playing back now the left tight end. Beasley in the shotgun formation fakes the handoff and takes it right side by himself. Has to cut back. He's going to be caught short. Can they bring him down? They're going to stand him up short of the first down. The Spectrum Sting come up with a big stop there as Beasley, in his own one-man effort, tried his hardest to get that first down. Needed 4 yards, got about 2.
It sure looked like right here he was going to be able to make it as he stepped outside and got around the first defender, number 34 Marburg, but Noah Rogers coming across the line of scrimmage from his other defensive end spot was able to wrap Beasley up and stop him short of the line to gain. So after the turnover, Joe, no major damage, only about 8 yards gained by BC's offense. Spectrum back with the ball now.
8:58 to go in the second quarter as Spectrum, no surprise, goes back to the ground game. Harlan on the carry.
Harlan on the carry.
Picks up 2 yards on that carry.
Only 2. It sure looked like he was going to get a lot more than that, but the defender, Rufus Menden, does a nice job of holding his position, as well as number 7, Davia Gabor. Both of those guys held their position pretty nicely and fended off blocks and were able to stop it for a short gain.
On second down and 8, it'll be Moss on the carry. And this time better blocking there on the left side for Spectrum. Picked up about 6 yards on that carry. It's going to bring up a short third down situation for the Sting.
Yeah, that unbalanced line creates problems for the defense because you're used to lining up the middle of your defense on the ball, and the ball is not the middle of the line now. So you've got to line up one man over, and you've got to recognize where the
Flags on the play.
where the middle of the formation is.
Yeah. False start on Spectrum. It's going to move them back 5 yards on a critical third down and short.
Third and short to third and long. When you don't throw the ball, that's a tough call.
The mistakes tonight on both sides of the football are the things that are really going to stick in the minds of these coaches at half. I mean, the penalties alone are driving them crazy. 5 penalties, 45 yards on Spectrum. 5 penalties, 35 yards on Brooklyn Center.
Yeah, penalties can drive you nuts, especially when they're avoidable.
Harlan's going to get the ball up the middle, but Brooklyn Center with no threat of a passing game, really able to get in tight there on the box and stop that after a pickup of maybe 2 yards.
Yeah, it's really tough when you've got all 11 offensive guys within about 3 yards of the football. All 11 defensive guys are going to be there too, so it just ends up being like a scrum.
The sophomore Spencer Moss will punt this one away. Beasley catches it at his 35-yard line. Gets away from the first Sting player. Gets away from a second Sting player. Then gets knocked into by his own blocker. That's perhaps what slowed him down. And then he was finally tackled in the open field by Nick Anderson of Spectrum. But he gets the ball into Spectrum territory down to their 48-yard line.
And Beasley does a good job of making people miss. Gets a little bit of help from Kirkwood there, knocking him right into the arms of Anderson.
First down and 10 now for Brooklyn Center, and we'll see the Chester Whaley version of this offense to begin this possession. Whaley out of the shotgun with Beasley, his tailback. Bartow's going to get a little break on this, at least this play. He's still working that hamstring out a little bit on the sidelines. Whaley out of the shotgun, looking to pass. Penalty on the play, throws it right side. They complete it. We'll see if it sticks. Whaley to Wiley for a pickup of 6.
Flag on the play, however.
Both linesmen threw their flags. So it usually indicates some kind of a procedure, and that's exactly what it was. An illegal formation, meaning that we had an offensive lineman in the backfield, probably.
15 yards.
There was no shifting or moving on that time, so there had to be somebody lined up in the backfield that shouldn't have been.
6th penalty of the game so far on Brooklyn Center. And that will bring up first down at 15. Whaley out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to each side. Beasley, his back to his left. Low snap, handled cleanly by Whaley. Looking downfield across the middle. Finds an open target. And a nice completion.
Whaley's pass to Minden, complete, taken down by Moss for the Sting. He's down to his 36
That was Rufus Menden, the sophomore target there, and he picked up 16 yards.
Well, that's a nice throw by Chester Whaley and a nice catch by Menden to make that first down and turn it over and get the ball up into the deeper into the territory of the Sting here.
Whaley does not handle this snap very well, then picks it up and runs left. He's going to get good yardage because there's no one over there. Finally gets pushed out of bounds inside the 30 down to the 26. The receivers on the left side had kind of a fly pattern, so that vacated the defense on that side of the field. There was no containment from the defensive end. He picked it up and ran with it.
Yeah, this is a broken play that something good happens
Please report to the south end of the bleachers by the American flag
for the Centaurs.
at this time. Timeout, Spectrum.
Spectrum will use a timeout now on 2nd down and 1 with 6:11 to go.
And their families report to the south
In
end
the
of
second
bleachers.
quarter, there's our summary on the game so far. Jason Bartow, 12-yard touchdown run to lead things off for the Centaurs. Mackey tied the game up on a 25-yard touchdown run for Spectrum. You see both teams failed on their point-after attempts and their first touchdowns, and then it was Tyrell Beasley, who kind of comes in as a second quarterback for Brooklyn Center, ran it on a 47-yard run, giving Brooklyn Center that lead back, and then they did convert the extra point. So they lead 13-6 in this one so far. We're live here on Channel 12 Sports, along with Hunstock, I'm Joe Moline, and we got Lindsey Genzel at the sideline. I can't wait to hear what these two coaches think about this first half. I think both of them are, have a lot of things to be frustrated about here, but what they're both going to feel, I think, optimistic about is what lies ahead, and that could be a cleaner second half and a win for either squad right now as this game kind of hangs in the balance.
Well, both coaches are going to be saying, geez, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. The other guys aren't doing so much to us as what we are doing to ourselves.
Whaley's going to come out here under center on 2nd down and 1. He's going to run the quarterback sneak to try to get that 1 yard. Looks like the spot's going to give him that yard, and he'll have a first down.
That is enough for a Centaur first down.
Second first down of this drive for Brooklyn Center. And Brooklyn Center will stay in that same formation where they have 2 receivers to each side. Whaley in the shotgun, hands off to Beasley. And Beasley gets away from a couple of Sting players and then finally gets wrapped up and draped down after a very short pickup.
Finally taken down there by Gleason. He brings the ball to 25.
There's a handoff.
No gain on the play.
You can see
4 or 5 players getting there to wrap Beasley up.
A lot of running to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely.
2nd down and 10 now. Whaley out of shotgun, looks left side, finds an open receiver, and again connects with Rufus Menden, who has perhaps yet another first down. They had 3 receivers to the right. Menden had one-on-one coverage on the left side with a safety up over the top, but they still went his way. And Menden's showing to be good enough after the catch to get those first downs. That's his second catch in this possession. Both of them went for first downs.
Well, he just made a nice little turn in on that route that time. It was nice and open.
Flag on the play.
Flag before we get this one going, as Whaley was looking to pass on 1st down and 10. Whaley's looking to...
Got an encroachment against, Spectrum.
It's on Spectrum. Whaley in this game so far, 5 of 7 for 62 yards. Pretty good numbers for the quarterback who, fortunately for him, had an interception called back on a defensive holding penalty.
Right. Yeah, he's proven to be a fairly accurate passer. He had the one pass that was incredibly short, and he overthrew a receiver on one, but he's been pretty much spot on most of his passes tonight.
He'll have 3 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. Menden, the receiver in the left, Beasley in the backfield. He's looking Menden's way. Menden runs a slant across the middle, and this one is not completed. Menden couldn't make that catch.
Nice effort by Menden.
2nd down and 5.
Well-thrown ball, maybe a little bit low, but Menden has a chance to make the play. Just can't grab it.
Mackey on the coverage for Spectrum. That'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Whaley will work out of the shotgun. 2 tight ends now in the offense, only 2 wideouts. Pretty tight. They give it to Beasley. Beasley fake left, went right, now back up the middle. Flag comes in on the play, though.
Beasley up the middle.
Beasley would have a first down, but something tells me this one's coming back, and that something is Bill.
Well, I think that the referee threw the flag right into the line of scrimmage, which usually indicates that that's going to be a hold on the offense.
Holding on the Centaurs.
You see a little frustration on the offense there, that they get a good play and get it backed up by a penalty.
Brings the ball out to the 19-yard line where it'll remain 2nd down.
These 2 teams now have combined for 13 penalties in this first half.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking it was at the goal line.
2nd down and 15 now for Whaley and the Centaurs. He'll have no backs in the backfield. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Whaley's going to look left. He's got to get hit as he delivers the ball, and he underthrows his intended target, Romel Carr. Took a big hit there, though, as coming through unblocked for Spectrum believe it was Nash Gleason.
Nash Gleason.
No, it's not Nash
Anderson.
Gleason. It's Nick Anderson. You're right.
And actually, that ball, considering he knew he was going to get hit, that ball wasn't that poorly thrown.
Beasley checks back into the offense now for the Centaurs on 3rd down and 15. Position they find themselves in after a holding penalty on what was a 1st down pickup for Beasley. I formation. Actually, Beasley's the quarterback. Sorry. Beasley the quarterback. It's Bartow behind him as the deep back. They pitch it to Bartow. He runs right side. He's got pretty good blocking out there, and he's got the 1st down, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Jason Bartow, his 2nd touchdown run of the game. This one for 20 yards on 3rd down and 15. They keep the ball on the ground, and Bartow makes it pay off for the Centaurs.
But Brooklyn Center's found that they can get to the outside, and when they do, they've got good running backs that can make people miss. It's exactly what Bartow does, the same thing that Tyrell Beasley did on the previous touchdown run.
Wiley with the extra point, and it's blocked once again. 2nd blocked extra point of the contest.
So we take a good look at the pitch out to Bartow, gets a good lead block out here on the flank.
Marcus
Beasley
Hulke
takes
gets a great pull block. Look at the 69, gets a nice little kick out right there. You see it in the and kind of see the tail end of it. You don't really catch it in that frame, but
yeah, but he did a good job of getting out and leading that play, and Bartow does a nice job of following him. One thing I noticed, defensively, the Spectrum guys a lot of times don't get off their blocks very well. Defensively, if you don't get off your block and get off it quickly, especially with good running backs, it's awfully hard to make a tackle.
Well, it seems to me that Brooklyn Center does a better job in the open field, whether it's running. They showed that they can tackle in the open field, and they also are blocking. Their blockers look that they're better in the open field than they are up the middle. And you know, it seems like to me, Spectrum would like to play this. Here's the block. Watch 69. Great block
Does
here.
a good job. Yeah.
Seals off Moss, one of their top tacklers. And you know, I think Spectrum would like to play this game between the tackles, and it's Brooklyn Center's job to get it out on the edges.
Yep. And now with a 2-touchdown deficit, you really have your work cut out for it, because if you're not going to throw the ball, or you can't throw the ball, you've really got a tough job ahead of you.
Well, the comedy of errors here, as the kicker just fakes out his own team. I mean, he literally ran up to the ball, faked kick it, and his team went offside. And Sylvanus Morris. So this will go back 5 yards as the kicker forces an offsides penalty on his own team.
They don't call it special teams for nothing.
He stopped running. He stopped about a yard from the ball. He pulled up. I think he thought Lucy was out there going to pull the ball away.
Morris decides to kick this one, and he does a good job of it. Return back deep inside Spectrum territory. It's Connor Hansen. He runs left, and he's taken down at the 25-yard line. Good coverage downfield from Davia Gabor.
He's at the 25-yard line of the state where they'll take over 1st and 10.
You know, for the amount of running in this game, the clock really hasn't ticked along, has it, because of the penalties? And I mean, there's not a good pace to it at all.
Right.
You'd think in these running games you would have some pace to it, but I think it's something tells me it's the 14 penalties for 105 yards.
That tends to slow things down a little bit.
You got to throw the flag, then you got to bend over and pick up the flag. You got to explain the flag.
Yep.
1st down and 10. And that's the biggest hole they've opened up for Harlan there tonight. Shane Harlan hasn't had the kind of blocking other running backs have been the beneficiaries of, and that time he got upfield for a good 6-7 yard pickup on 1st down.
Fumble on the play, picked up by number 11, Rufus Menden for the Centaurs.
And Brooklyn Center will capitalize on another Spectrum mistake as Menden, a star receiver for the Centaurs, pounces on this fumble. This ball just goes right through Harlan's legs. Menden picks it up, and Harlan saves a touchdown as Menden had thoughts of taking that one to the house.
Yeah, absolutely. That looked like a scoop and score. Hurlin saves the touchdown, but that's the third time he's dropped the ball on the snap tonight. He's got some problems with his hand-eye coordination on catching the football.
So Brooklyn Center will take over after Spectrum's first turnover of the night. And Whaley's back to pass on first down. He takes a hit, floats one up across the middle, and this one falls dangerously incomplete.
Well, that's not where you really want to put the ball up in the air. It's right down the middle. Unfortunately, there was
correction of my own mistake there. Spectrum on their second turnover of the game. Whaley under center, second down and 10 now. 3:32 to go in the second quarter. Brooklyn Center looking to put an explanation point on this first half. Bartow gets the ball up the middle, breaks it out to the right side, and then he's taken down after a gain of 5.
Ball carrier taken down in the play by number 34 for the Sting, Fisher Marburg.
Fisher Marburg makes the tackle for Spectrum. Gain of 5, brings up third down and 5.
Beasley comes in for Bartow. I think Bartow's a little gimped by that hamstring, Joe. He didn't make the kind of explosive move that we saw earlier in the game on that play.
Whaley has 3 receivers to his left as he works out of the shotgun. Looks to throw it to Beasley out of the backfield, and that one falls incomplete. Beasley, I think, wanted a little bit more touch on that one.
That'll bring up fourth down and 5 for the Centaurs.
That's a tough angle to complete a swing pass. The running back's got to get a little bit of depth. He's got to get 2 or 3 yards of depth as he turns back, and then he can get his eyes around a little bit easier. It's very tough for a running back to see the ball at the angle that Beasley was running at.
Whaley now 5 of 10 after that incomplete pass, so he's gone a little bit cold here in the last few, but they put more pressure on him on a couple of those incomplete passes as well. Fourth down and 5, and Spectrum's bringing the house. Here they comes. Whaley gets rid of it. Oh, he had to throw it early, and his receiver, Menden, did not find the football fast enough. Whaley took a hit, but Spectrum, again, after a fumble, comes up with a good defensive stop. Ooh, a little bit of a late one, maybe.
Yeah, pretty good wrap-up by number 29, Ogren, to disrupt that throw by Whaley.
Gleason, 56, came in maybe a little bit late. If you're a BC fan, you thought he was really late.
If you're a Spectrum guy, you say, well, let him play.
We're objective observers up here in the booth, Bill and I, so we say play on. First down and 10 now. Spectrum, 2 turnovers, but neither one led to points for Brooklyn Center as they pick up 1 yard on that first down. Moss, the ball carrier.
Picks up 1 on the play. Brings up second down and 9 for the Sting.
I think you're going to see some semblance of a hurry-up offense here. No huddle. They're going to hand it off quicker. I don't think we're going to see any throws, though. Not much running room up the gut right now for Moss and the Sting. They continue to try to pawn it. Brooklyn Center has responded since giving up that opening touchdown, or that second possession touchdown in this game.
Yeah, they've really pretty well bottled up the running game of Spectrum. Spectrum they just need to hit at multiple points across the line of scrimmage. One of the strengths of this offense can be that it can imply some misdirection. You can get some pretty good matchups if you do it right.
They'll throw the ball, and they complete it for a first down. Second attempt of the game from Moss, and he completes it out over the middle.
Noah Rogers complete. Up to the Sting 43-yard line.
Noah Rogers makes the catch and gets all the way up to the 43.
Pretty well executed. All but one guy back in the secondary. Everybody else was up on the line of scrimmage.
That ball goes right back up the middle for a gain of 2.
Ball carrier taken down there by number 11, Rufus Menden.
As Mackey carries it.
Comes up to the 45-yard line.
We're down to about a minute to go in the half here.
Did they report?
Second down and 8 to go now. Just over a minute to go. Ball's on the turf. Spectrum again mishandling this football. And Brooklyn Center is going to have this one.
Fumble on the play.
No indication from the officials. They're going to say third down. Oh, now they're going to say Brooklyn Center ball.
Centaurs recover. First and 10.
Boy, it just wasn't much fanfare down there on the field.
Well, it's the third time that the fourth time that the snap has not been handled by the back. That it's not a bad snap. The backs just are not handling the ball well, and they're leaving the ball on the floor. You leave the ball on the floor, Joe, bad things happen.
48 seconds now. We'll see Brooklyn Center take over here on offense and try to capitalize on this Spectrum turnover. Third turnover of the half for the Sting. All of them fumbles after they had their best pass completion.
Exactly.
Beasley hands it off to Bartow. Bartow trying to get away from the Sting. Gets wrapped up and taken down after a short gain.
3-yard line taken down there on the play by number 28.
Nick Anderson and Thomas Ogren on the tackle for Spectrum after that short pickup. I wonder after that play if Brooklyn Center might just let time run out here.
Well, they don't have to. They don't have to snap the ball. So my guess is we're just going to see a kneel down here by Beasley.
So Brooklyn Center will kneel down and let this one go to halftime. Well, we were tied up 6-6 midway through the first quarter, but Brooklyn Center has rattled off 13 straight points right now to lead 19-6. And you know, Brooklyn Center has done some things well, Bill, but Spectrum has really made a lot of mistakes.
Oh, Spectrum is, yeah, they've made enough mistakes. They fill up 2 games in just one half here. So, yeah, they've really. They've really got their hands full here in the second half.
It's one of those things, though, it got repeatable last year in the Viking season, as he said. They constantly said, Leslie Frazier, they're correctable mistakes. They're correctable mistakes, and all mistakes are correctable. It's a matter of executing and doing it, and that's
absolutely
what Spectrum needs to do. But that's the good thing is, from a talent standpoint, Brooklyn Center looks to have a little bit of an advantage. But if Spectrum cleans it up, they got a pretty good running game themselves.
Right, and if they execute their offense, they do pretty well.
We'll go down now with the Spectrum head coach, Lindsey Genzel.
Thanks, guys. Coach Seth Mills, 14 penalties between the two teams, 3 fumbles for you guys. 2 of the fumbles, though, you guys were able to stop on defense. Had to be a bright spot in the first half.
Yeah, we stepped it up on defense this game. It's really helped us out, but offensively, we got to quit putting it on the ground.
What will be your main point for the second half when you get in that locker room with the guys?
That ball control. I think we can stop them. We can make some adjustments, but we have to be able to control the ball and keep it. We can't just lay it on the ground like that. That's unforced and it's unnecessary. So that's where we're at right now. We'll work on that.
All right, thanks, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. We're going to talk to Coach Willie Finley when we come back. But back up to you guys.
Welcome back to Centaur Nation.
Well, thank you, Lindsay. Like we thought, some unforced correctable mistakes, and that's what Spectrum will be talking about at halftime. It's halftime here at Brooklyn Center with the Centaurs leading on homecoming night, 19-6. We'll have more coverage here on 12 Sports.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And Shelter Pets makes super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. you can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
And the Centaurs, the home squad, lead 19-6. You have a happy crowd here tonight. Fighting off the humidity and the mosquitoes, though. We have another Hall of Fame introduction coming up here on Channel 12 Sports. You've seen it on 12 Sports News, but here it is. James Ware, one of the great basketball players that passed through that great basketball program at Hopkins. Here's a story on James Ware and his induction into the Channel 12 Sports Hall of Fame.
He was an all-state forward that helped propel Hopkins to the top of the prep basketball world 2 decades ago. We welcome 1995 Hopkins High School graduate James Ware into the 12 Sports Hall of Fame.
James Ware, nice shot, scores.
Ken Novak Jr. had returned to his alma mater 3 years earlier, and in the 1992-93 season, coached the Royals to the first state tournament for Hopkins since 1974. James was a sophomore reserve on that team and remembers it as a breakthrough year for the program.
That was the first year, I think, as a program, as a team, and as individuals, you know, we really started feeling like, you know what, this is something we can do. We can be back here consistently if as a collective we all kind of come together and really start pushing.
After a 5th place finish in the 93 tournament, James worked hard during the offseason and became a starter in his junior year. Teaming with players like Justin White, Matt Arnold, and Lyman Myers, the Royals won Section 6AA again and just lost out on a state title, losing a heartbreaker in the final seconds against Minneapolis Washburn. The bond he developed with his teammates in high school helped shape James' life, and he believes those of his teammates too.
Through basketball, we kind of found our thing, so to speak, and it impacted so many other parts of our life. Impacted us to want to be better academically. And we're a relatively, you know, small group of players back then, but we all kind of looked out for each other, you know, whether it was basketball or at school, and it just kind of really blossomed from there.
By 1994-95, Ware had developed into one of the state's top players. He averaged over 24 points a game as a senior and edged Armstrong standout John Bryant for the Lake Conference scoring title.
Jimmy really became a dominant player because his advantage, he could really shoot it.
and he got to the point where he could really get to the basket. And he was playing a little out of position, which all those guys were, but it became a really tough, hard-nosed, smart player.
Perhaps the best of Ware's 3 high school teams, Hopkins was unbeaten and ranked number 2 in the state in 1995. When the Royals were unexpectedly upset by a Minnetonka team they had defeated twice during the regular season.
We had a really good group and got close. We were 25-0 all year. We saw Minneapolis North was the other team. They were number 1. I think they were undefeated as well, and we kind of had our eyes on them.
James' dreams of playing Division I college basketball were realized the next year. They began a 5-year journey that started in Colorado.
I went to Colorado State out of high school. It was a great school situation, but after 2 years, really hadn't played a whole lot. So I transferred to a junior college in Midland, Texas, and after going to that junior college, went to Texas Tech right up the street. It was just a great opportunity to do something I loved at a high level.
James was all Big 12 honorable mention as a senior at Texas Tech, and after briefly trying to make it in pro ball, James turned to coaching. He returned to Novak, a man he considers his mentor. Ware was on the Hopkins staff during the early 2000s, with teams led by Chris Humphreys and Dan Coleman that resulted in the 2002 state Class 4A title.
Gives it off to Humphreys for the dunk.
At the same time, James was earning his master's degree in education at the University of Minnesota and landed a spot on the Gophers coaching staff, beginning a 10-year career in college coaching.
Dan Munson was the head basketball coach at the University of Minnesota. Worked for him for 3 years. Had an opportunity to go out and work for a coach that I had played for at Utah State, Stu Morrill. And so worked at Utah State for 2 years and then 4 years at Santa Clara University, where I was able to recruit Ray Cowles, who was a Hopkins player.
But after 4 years at Santa Clara, James decided he'd had enough of the travel demands of a college assistant. He returned home to Minnesota and landed a job at Hopkins North Junior High, where he was once a student. Now he's in his 2nd year as an assistant principal.
To be able to be a part of such a committed district in terms of education, and just everything that this district is about, to be able to come back to a school that I went to at North Junior High is just such a great opportunity.
James coaches his 10 and 12-year-old sons, Jimmy and JJ, in Brooklyn Park traveling basketball, and is back coaching at Hopkins too, serving as a great role model to the current high school players.
He understands kids pretty well, and he empathizes well. In order to be a good coach, you have to be able to empathize, and he does. He empathizes, he understands other people's feelings, other people's, things in their lives that are affecting them, and he's able to work on that, deal with it. He's able to give kids the extra time.
That's really what I wanted to do, was teach and coach, quite honestly. My goal, my dream, I just wanted to be like Coach Novak, you know what I mean? Teach social studies, coach basketball, be in the gym in the summer, so there are a lot of things that I get to be a part of.
All right. The great success of James Ware, and congratulations to him for getting into the Channel 12 Sports Hall of Fame. There you see the Spectrum team down by 19-6 here at halftime, talking things over about how they're going to clean it up in the second half. And we will have that second half for you right now after 12 Sports break.
That's low. That's low.
Look, he's blushing.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look! Your crush is looking at you. Or you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Looking for these? You drive Buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
What a great view from Brooklyn Center High School on this beautiful fall evening. It's 19-6 with the Centaurs leading on homecoming night. Let's take a look at how we got there. First half highlights. First off, the quarterback, Chester Whaley, showing some accuracy early in the game as he connected with Rommel Carr. Rommel Carr gets some good yards after the catch there inside down to the 40 in the Spectrum territory, and the Brooklyn Center would eventually score on this drive as you see Jason Bartow taking it to the house for one of his 2 first half touchdown runs. That one put the Centaurs up 6-0. It was Spectrum coming back though. They got a couple of nice carries by that guy right there, Ben Mackey. Mackey in the Spectrum Sting would put it into the end zone right here. Mackey with another carry going off tackle, breaking a couple of tackles and getting all the way into the end zone, tying it up at 6. They too failed on their point after attempt as they went for 2. And it was 6-6, but then the Centaurs came right back with more Jason Bartow. Look at him finish off this run. He cramps up right there and oh, he pays the price. What a hit by Spencer Moss. Beasley comes into the game at quarterback. Tyrell Beasley, be easy, takes it to the house as he gets around to the outside there, in for a touchdown run that put the Centaurs back in the lead. That was a 47-yard run from Beasley. They did kick the extra point through the uprights, taking a 13-6 lead, and then Whaley and the Centaurs come back and score one last time in the second quarter. That's the sophomore Menon with the first down completion, and Beasley came into the game at quarterback, pitched it to Bartow, and Bartow takes it the distance, the second score of the half. That one there, a 20-yarder, putting the Centaurs where we are at right now with a lead of 19-6. There's our first half stats. The Sting almost keeping up in the rushing yard department, but you see the Centaurs with quite an advantage of overall yards thanks in large part to the passing game of 62 yards. Look at the first downs, pretty even, but it's the turnovers, one of the stories here. Not that the Centaurs have scored on those turnovers, but it's really kept the Sting from getting across midfield and scoring themselves. Penalties, each team penalized quite a bit there in that first half. A lot of things to clean up in the second half, and we will have that second half for you next on 12 Sports.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
So shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Back at Brooklyn Center, just about ready to kick off the second half, but let's first go down to Lindsay Gensel, who's standing by with the head coach of Brooklyn Center.
Thanks so much, guys. Coach Finley, you guys are up by 2 possessions. What were your thoughts on the first half by your team?
They had a good first half. We had some mental errors, but overall, I think I am happy with the way our kids performed.
Jason Bardo had some issues with the right leg. He had 84 yards and 11 carries, 2 of the touchdowns. What's his role going to be in the second half?
Hopefully 11 carries, 84 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's a tough kid. We'll see if he can muster up enough water and a little salt to get that hamstring back, and we'll see if he can go the second half. If not, we've got other athletes that are ready to step up.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Best of luck. Thanks, guys. You can take it up back there.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Coach Finley has some high expectations for Jason Bartow in the second half. Little duplicate the results, right? But get rid of some of those penalties in between, I think, is what his recipe would be for the second half.
Both coaches, they sounded, you can tell just by looking at their expressions and their body language, they're not happy. Coach Finley's happy with the situation, but I guarantee he's not happy with the way that things were going.
As the two teams get stretched out here for the second half, Brooklyn Center will be getting the football to start. And the Centaurs leading this game 19-6, trying to go 3-2. This would be a very successful step forward for the Centaurs team, trying to get back a winning record.
Absolutely.
We'll take one last break before the second half, and then we'll be back for second half football here on Channel 12.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And Shelter Pets makes super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here we are back at Brooklyn Center, ready to kick off the second half. Centaurs leading the Sting. Brooklyn Center on the year, 2-2, off to a nice start this season. A year ago, they only had 2 wins, so they're looking to up that total with a victory here tonight. Last week, won over New Life Academy 28-26. They won in week 1, 50-25 over St. James. They dropped a pair in the middle of those 2 wins to St. Anthony Village and Columbia Heights. Still left on their schedule games against Concordia of Roseville, St. Agnes, and a very tough one against St. Clair Lutheran, albeit a St. Clair Lutheran team that's not quite as strong as years past this year.
No, not quite the team that they had that won the state championship last year.
And then when you look at their the teams in their section that they got to get out of this year, that, you know, it's some of those same teams we just mentioned, but Maple Lake and Concordia, St. Agnes and Howard Lake kind of seem to be some of the ones that they got to get past. And you look at it and you're saying Brooklyn Center has a reasonable chance here if they can kind of string things together, stay healthy. You know, it's not too far-fetched to think that they might be one of those teams you could talk about coming out of the section.
Absolutely, absolutely. Howard Lake Waverly has started off the season pretty good, and they were decent last year.
So we're just about ready to kick it off here now as Moss will kick off for Spectrum. He kicks this one on the ground. It'll be fielded and wisely laid on top of by Brooklyn Center as Menden stays on top of that one. So the Centaurs will take over near midfield. Pretty good field position to begin the second half of play. First down and 10 from the BC 34-yard line to begin things. And as we begin the second half, it'll be Beasley playing quarterback and 2 running backs in the backfield. I believe it's Menden and Bartow in the backfield. New look, fakes the one handoff, goes right. Beasley keeps it, and we do have a flag on the play, so it might be one of those long Beasley runs that comes back. Beasley fighting for every inch. Now he's going to go back to the other side of the field. He's only going to pick up 4 yards. A lot of effort for a play that's not going to stand.
Sting, Gleason. Flags on the play already.
False start by BC. Another one of those frustrating penalties that drives coaches nuts. So Beasley runs 55 yards to gain 4. And it's called back with an illegal procedure.
So we didn't exactly clean that up at halftime. Beasley comes out now, still at the quarterback spot. He's going to be under center here, with the back in the backfield being Thomas Mason, an interesting number 51. Fake, actually, handoff goes to Mason. Mason's going to go to the left side, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. Big tackle in the backfield by Nick Anderson, one of the sophomores for the Spectrum team. Loss of 3 on the play.
And maybe that's why you don't give the guard the ball.
Yeah, that's what happens when you give the ball to someone wearing number 51.
There you go. But he's been in the blocking position, blocking back position early this evening. It's the first time they've had him actually in the backfield.
Mason will shift to the right side now. He's played excellent defensively tonight as well. Beasley out of the shotgun, back to pass now. On second down, he's going to go up over the top of the defense, and it's caught! What an acrobatic catch that was by Rommel Carr, as Carr gets all the way down to the Spectrum 40-yard line.
First and 10, Centaurs.
Well, that was quite the catch, because Mackey played that about as well as a defensive back can play. It looked like he had the interception even. And Rommel Carr just makes a nice grab on the ball. a very big gain. Was that 40 plus yards?
I got it for 30 yards, but
30
still
yards.
a big play.
Yep.
And Beasley almost just kind of threw that one up.
He
and
just heaved it out
Cards
there.
will get it. Well, first down and 10 now for Brooklyn Center. And the handoff goes to big number 51, Mason. Thomas Mason picks up a couple yards on first down. Jason Bartow checks back into the game now. Mason will be more of a fullback in this spot with Bartow set back behind Beasley, who works out of the shotgun. Fake hand up to Mason. No, they run the option right. Pitch to Bartow. Bartow can't handle it cleanly, then barely gets on top of it. He tried to kind of pick it up rather than get on top of it. Eventually did jump on top of it and covered it himself, but lost about 3-4 yards on the play. 4-yard loss.
Well, he just barely covered that because after he first landed on it, the ball squirted away from him and was nearly picked up by one of the Spectrum defenders.
Well,
and now we're at third and 12, 3rd and 13. And I think Bartow is just going to have to take it easy on that leg. He just is not ready to go full speed.
Can't get rid of that cramp. And those things, I mean, they don't go away. They're gonna plague you the entire night.
That'll hang on for a day or two, yep.
And the hamstring and the quads are the worst ones. Beasley's gonna keep it himself on 3rd down and 12, running right side. He's got about 5, and he's breaking a tackle. He's coming back to the left side.
Oh, my goodness.
Here he comes, needs a block as Mackey fought through there, gets off the tackle for Mackey, cuts it back at the 30, spins down to the 26-yard line, and he's got a Brooklyn Center first down. That's not going to go in the Spectrum tackling video highlight reel.
No, there's lots of broken tackles here by Beasley. He just doesn't go down. Finally taken down by Noah Rogers.
Well, Beasley does it again for Brooklyn Center. Boy, he's had some interesting runs here tonight. Now we got a fumble as Mason did not handle the handoff cleanly. He's going to get 2 yards and pounce on the fumble himself. But that exchange just did not work out between Mason and Beasley.
No, it looked like Beasley got the ball up right on Mason's shoulder. And the ball doesn't react well when you bounce it off the shoulder pad. That's the second time we've seen a fumble forward for a gain for Brooklyn Center.
Spectrum hasn't been able to make one of those balls on the grass work out in their favor for a turnover. Now Beasley, lone back in the backfield, is going to roll to his right, looking to throw, and he finds Menden underneath. Menden makes the catch, makes a couple of Spectrum defenders miss, and he'll have a first down after a nice little run after the catch. Pickup of 12 on that play.
Pickup of about 12 on the play. It's a 1st and 10 Centaurs. Officials time out on the field.
We have a Spectrum player down on the field injured, so we have a timeout. We're going to take a timeout here with Brooklyn Center up 19-6 in the 3rd quarter.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And shelter pets make super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
There you see the ambulance from North Memorial Medical Center on its way out of here at Brooklyn Center High School. Thomas Ogren loaded up and hopefully on his way to some good medical news. We're going to go down to the field now for Lindsey Genzel on an update.
Themselves back in shape to restart the second half, and I grabbed Coach Willie Finley real quick and asked him the difficult question. Obviously, no one wants to see this happen, an injury and a player being taken away in an ambulance. But at the end of the day, you've got to get back on the field and play some football. And I asked him, how are you getting through this? And he said it's difficult to get past the fact that there is an injured player and his family and what they're going to go through, and wishing them the best and trying not to let that rub off on his players. So no doubt putting on a strong face as his Brooklyn Center Centaurs get set to go back into the second half and hopefully pull off the homecoming win here tonight.
All right, thank you, Lindsey, very much for that information. And Coach Finley, thank you very much for the access and just kind of giving us a little bit of look into the eyes of the opposing coach when an injury like this happens. Where we left this at is Brooklyn Center was driving. That was a first down run where Ogren was able to come over and make a tackle. So we are now back to live action here. 7:08 to go in the third quarter. First down and 10 as the Centaurs drive, looking to score their first points of the second half. Beasley will be under center. I formation behind him. And the first handoff of the half goes to Menden, and Menden is met by a host of Spectrum defenders in the backfield. In on the tackle is Nick Anderson for Spectrum, as well as Nash Gleason.
Nice penetration by the line and linebackers there to force about a 1 yard loss. So it'll be 2nd and 11 from the 15, 16 yard line. So Brooklyn Center can get a first down without scoring.
Beasley out of the shotgun now. Next to him is Thomas Mason, the running back in the backfield. Two receivers to each side as Beasley drops back to pass. He's going to tuck it and run. He's got some room along the right side, cuts back into the middle and into the end zone for a touchdown. Tyrell Beasley scrambling in from 15 yards to put the Centaurs up now 25-6.
Another nice run by Beasley. He really forces the action, really forces the defense to come up and make a reaction, and when they do, he makes a move to avoid contact and make people miss, and that time he went all the way in untouched.
Beasley with 2 touchdown runs on the night, both from the quarterback spot. As he lines up to go for 2 now out of the shotgun. Mason in the backfield, fakes to Mason, passes it into the end zone. He's got his target open, and he comes down with the ball. 2-point conversion complete to Romel Carr. Most likely a pass interference call coming, but that will be happily declined as Brooklyn Center will take the 2 points. So 27-6 the score is, as 2 plays after the long injury timeout. Brooklyn Center punches it into the end zone and gets a 2-point conversion.
You see Beasley there doing a great job of avoiding contact, making people miss. And he goes into the end zone from 16 yards out, basically untouched. And here's Beasley's pass to Romel Carr. Nice grab by Romel Carr, being harassed by number 2, Ryan Pribnow, who gave him a pretty good push just as he was grabbing the ball, and he hung on and made the catch.
Kind of a weird pass interference call, too, again. These officials are. It's like, what do they want you to do defensively? We've seen a couple holding defensively and a pass interference that you're.
So the penalty now brings the ball up to the 45-yard line of Spectrum. So now they've got a chance for some not very good field position.
It's Sylvanus Morris to kick off for Brooklyn Center. And this is where the kicker, you really want to put this one in the end zone. You got that advantage. Morris waiting for the okay from the officials. He sizes this one up and not going to try to throw off his team. They got him on knees now, so they. Morris will boot this one. It gets down to the 5, where it's going to be returned up the left side. Harlan takes it down near the 20-yard line, where Spectrum will take over.
Taken down at the 20-yard line. It'll be first and 10, Sting.
Our first look at the Spectrum offense in the second half. It seems like about an hour and a half ago when we last saw this offense.
Yeah.
We had halftime, and then we had the injury timeout. We had a long 6-minute drive for Brooklyn Center. First down and 10 now for the Sting from their own 20. And it's going to be a little reverse counter play to Mackey, which was so successful in the opening quarter, but only goes for 1 yard on this attempt.
They really haven't been able to sell the run to the strong side so they can open up that counter, and when the defensive guys on the backside are staying at home, you've got to come up with something else. You got to come up with a somewhat different kind of a counter play to get people moving around.
Second down and 9, and they're going to run it to the right side. And tiptoeing up the sidelines is Shane Harlan. One of his best carries of the night. Boy, it looked like he was going to run out of room.
Yep.
But he tiptoed along the sidelines and got a first down.
It looked like they called him for being out of bounds. Oh, yeah, he was. But he got the first down. Yeah, he did skip out of bounds, but he got a pretty nice run. Garnered the first down, and he's ready to go.
13-yard pickup for Harlan, his biggest run of the night. Spectrum gets their first down of the second half. And there comes the shift that works again. That should be their play. Just do the shift every play.
Yep.
I mean,
that's a 5 yard. That's a 5 yard. You know, that's a 5 yard average per shift.
5 yard play, and it doesn't cost you a down. You know, they've done it. I think there's been a penalty every time they've done it. I don't think they've not fooled them. And you called it. I mean, there was that one 4th down and 5, and 4th down and 4, and they didn't do it.
Yep.
Perkins gets fooled on that one for Brooklyn Center, and that'll be another penalty on the Centaurs.
You know, that's one of those deals where, well, if it happens once, you can understand it, but the 3rd or 4th time, you feel like, you know, you're telling your players, hey fellas, they shift. When they shift, don't move.
Yeah, there's an old saying in Texas.
They're going backwards, right? Yeah, I think it's in Tennessee too. I don't know.
Here comes a really unbalanced line. Only one player right of the football. Harlan gets the direct snap, and he's going to run this one for a first down. Boy, I don't think I've ever seen that unbalanced of a line in my life.
But Seth Mills told me that they were going to be running some formations that we haven't seen in a while, and that is again that's the unbalanced over. What they do is they take the split end and put the split end on the same side as the tight end and the wing back, and make it, like you said, Joe. That's an ultra strong situation, and what it does, it forces the defensive lineman to count where's the middle. If you're up on the line of scrimmage, quickly it's hard to find where's the middle of that formation.
There you go, same formation again. Harlan runs it left side, tries to get on the back of one of those lead blockers, and picks up 4 yards on first down.
So this is a nice creative way to use your formation to give you a little bit of an advantage, and maybe get the ball down the field in the end zone. They've got to score 3 times, so they've got to start off with getting the first one first here.
It doesn't allow your defense on the weak side to really get any pursuit because you got to stay at home for that trick play, I assume.
And since the end guy on the line of scrimmage is eligible, you can throw the ball back to him.
Harlan takes the ball once again getting heavy-duty work here on this drive. Plunges forward for another 4. Bring up third down and 2.
And I've got to be thinking that Spectrum they're going to want to pick the tempo up here a little bit, and they've got anything they've got in their arsenal to run. They're gonna probably be trying it.
Third down and 2 now. Spectrum comes out of the huddle in a hurry. Here comes the shift. Brooklyn Center catching on to it a little bit, not moving that time. Heavy balance to the left side, and they're going to run it with Harlan left side. He gets in behind Moss, and he's got a nice block, and he's going to have a first down and on a 7-yard carry.
For the Sting first down, taking
Another nice carry for Harlan as he gets downfield. Pretty good order following his lead block from Spencer Moss. Getting upfield. That was a nice angle that they got there, attacking a single player. Another nice gain for Harlan.
This time Moss is going to throw it. He throws it right side, complete to Mackey. There's a flag on the play. Mackey's going to cut back at the 20, get down inside the 20 before he's pushed out of bounds by a host of Centaurs. But again, this one's probably coming back. It's going to be some kind of formation issue. 5-yard penalty, confusing formation.
Illegal procedure.
Legal procedure, and Spectrum coaching staff wanting an explanation on it as they thought they were all set.
And that's a nice throw and catch from Moss to Mackey.
And they threw that time to the opposite side of that really heavy bounce.
Yep. So it negates another nice play by Spectrum.
7th penalty, 55 yards.
That must have been a formational procedure, not a motion penalty, because they didn't have people moving.
So first down at 15 after that penalty. Now they're trying to get set. They got to figure out who's on the line, who's not on the line here. Out of the shotgun, Harlan's going to take it right side. Cuts it back, and he's taken down. Nice tackle there by Rufus Menden. Menden's had a nice game tonight on both sides of the ball for Brooklyn Center. Short gain, but Menden comes from the backside to make that tackle. As you take a look, watch Menden's speed get to this ball.
He does a good job.
That's great
chasing
pursuit.
that thing down from the backside. Otherwise, that would look like a pretty nice cutback hole that Harlan got into. A second and about 15. Gain of a couple on that play.
Shane Harlan getting all the work here in the second half. Now they're going to throw it again. Oh, it's batted down. What a great play there. They're going to call it a live ball. That looked like a forward pass to me. Whaley knocked it down.
Pretty close to being a lateral.
I think they called it a lateral. They're talking about it now. Whaley got his hands up there, knocked it down, and then pursued it. Now they're going to call it an incomplete pass, and I think that is the right call.
There was a screen that was trying to set up there on the left-hand side.
That's forward. Forward enough.
Yep.
Nice play by Whaley, though.
Yeah, Whaley makes a nice play, gets his hand on the ball. Otherwise, that was a pretty well set up screen.
Third down and 15 now for the Sting.
Now they got people spread out all over the place.
Moss gives it to Harlan left side. No, Moss keeps it. Faked me out, but did not fake out the rest of the Brooklyn Center team as Abdul Daiki makes the tackle for Brooklyn Center after a pickup of about 6 yards. Needed 15,
fourth
got
and
6.
long, yeah, 4th and long. That was pretty well executed quarterback counter there. Looked like Harlan was going to be carrying the ball on the sweep, and Moss took it right back up the right side. Nice gain, but still 4th and long.
Moss and Harlan were talking in the backfield there about what the play was, and there was some confusion, and sensing that confusion, Coach Seth Mills takes a timeout. The first timeout of the second half for Spectrum, as this is an important play upcoming if they're going to stick in this ball game. 4th down and 9 for the Sting. There you see the Channel 12 Sports app on all the major app stores, and it's good stuff. You can watch live games, sports highlights, full event archive. It's very well done and nice to have on your phone, so you can get 12 sports on the go anytime. So out of this timeout, you think Spectrum will have a pretty good play dialed up here. What's your best 4th down and 9 play? That's what's on the docket for the Sting, and it's one of those probably if you want to stay in this ball game, if you have any chance here tonight, it's got to happen here.
Yeah, you're not going to get enough possessions in the 4th quarter to score enough. You've got to get something going here and score on this possession. Otherwise, you probably won't get the ball back enough.
Unbalancing the line to the left side now. They send a guy in motion, and it's going to be an inside handoff to Mackey, but that one, although it was fumbled, it was going to be eaten alive anyways, as Brooklyn Center's big Marcus Holkey was there to sense that one out. You see Mackey coming for that inside handoff.
Menden made that play because he hit the ball and the quarterback as Moss was handing the ball off.
Turnover on downs as Brooklyn Center will get the football back here with 1:16 to go in the 3rd quarter.
So a pretty nice 5-minute possession by Spectrum is used up and nothing to show for it on the scoreboard.
Beasley fakes the handoff, or actually gives the handoff to Mason left side. Mason runs over a couple of Sting players as he picks up 6 yards on that 1st down.
Thomas Mason showing that sometimes it's not too bad to have a guard in the backfield.
Well, you might have to teach him what a 1st down is, though. He gets up and he points 1st down. He's probably seen people do it on TV. Yeah. That's not a 1st down.
You still got to go to the line to gain to get a 1st down.
4 yards short, but he points to the 1st down. That's awesome.
Yep. He probably is not a math major this week.
Oh, man. Good stuff. Beasley gives it back to Mason. Gets near the 50-yard line. A couple yards shy of that 1st down.
Mason, the ball carrier, taken down in the play by number 66 for the Sting.
Pick up of 3 yards, and that'll get us under 22 seconds to go. That could be the final play of the quarter, and it will be.
If you're BC, you're not in any rush to run a play now.
No. Absolutely not. Brooklyn Center 2-2 in the year, looking to go 3-2 and have a winning record for the first time under Coach Willie Finley in his 2nd season as the Centaurs coach. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll come right back here on 12 Sports and the completion of this game here tonight on homecoming night.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Start of the 4th quarter, 3rd down and short. Beasley for Brooklyn Center in the shotgun. Spectrum showing the blitz. Gives it to Mason, and Mason runs over a Spectrum defender for what might be a 1st down.
Very close.
Oh, he's pointing.
The spot is very close. I would guess they're going to measure this. Yep.
Mason definitely thinks they got it.
Timeout for a measurement.
And we will measure. It looks like a 1st down from my vantage point.
Yeah, he's got it.
Oh, no.
Ooh,
We got one more
close.
carry in him.
Ooh, no dice.
Short by about 2 inches.
Oh, 2 inches, says the PA announcer.
Brings up 4th down.
Look at Mason. He runs him over, though. I like the style. He's running over defenders. he's got the first down point down.
He wants that first down. Eventually, 4 carries, he'll get it.
They should fake it to him. Beasley will get it.
Yeah, he'll get 10
yards.
inches and run 49 yards for it.
So 4th down and inches coming up here for Brooklyn Center. Beasley will be under center with Thomas Mason in the backfield. Beasley will keep it on the quarterback keeper, and there he goes through the defense. Boy, he's off to the races inside the 30 down to the 25. That was the quickest quarterback sneak I'd ever seen.
That is a Centaur. First down.
Pickup of 24 yards. Look at the stiff arm.
Nice stiff arm. And boys, he got some quick feet. He gets going right now, and once he turns it upfield, he is very tough to stop.
Yeah, Beasley for 7 carries, 106 yards. Can you believe he's only carried the ball 7 times?
No, he's had 47-yard run for a touchdown, and he's had a couple other big runs.
Had a lot of runs called back tonight, interestingly enough.
Yep.
Beasley will keep it. Fake handoff, runs to his right side, gets to the edge, cuts it back now, gets away from one tackler, and then finally flagged down from the backside there. Nice tackle in the open field by Noah Rogers. That backside pursuit with Beasley is important.
Yep, you gotta close the cutback lanes, and you gotta wrap him up. One thing Noah Rogers has done tonight is when he gets the ball carry, he wraps up pretty well.
Second down and 4 now upcoming for Brooklyn Center, being very mindful of the play clock right now, trying to use as much time as possible. Mason, the lone back in the backfield. Beasley will jump under center. One receiver to each side. Handoff goes to Mason, and he will get stood up near the line of scrimmage, but drive his feet forward for a yard or two.
Taken down by Gleason for the sting. Picked up about 3 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Flag on the play.
So it'll be
something he's gotten one of the coaches on the Brooklyn Center sideline pretty exercised.
Yeah, he is offensive
Unsportsmanlike
coordinator for Brooklyn Center, not happy with something on the field there.
Unsportsmanlike conduct by somebody on the BC side. Which probably means
well, I think it was on. Well, Beasley's getting taken off the field, or is he going to talk to the coach?
is it
Lindsay's telling us
51,
it's on Mason that got the penalty.
Makes it 3rd down and 16.
What happened? Silver, what happened?
15-yard penalty, though, on Brooklyn Center as they got driven back after that. Boy. You see the end of the player. Mason gets up and has something to say about it. There's the penalty flag as he then takes off his helmet and has a couple more words.
probably had something unkind to say about one of the players from the Spectrum team, and that caused the referee to let the thing go.
Now the officials discussing it at midfield. So what do you guys think tonight? Denny's, Perkins? That's not what they're talking about, is it? 9:48 still to go in the fourth quarter of this one. This one will Beasley in the shotgun formation. Fakes the handoff, gonna run it up the middle. And he's taken down there at the 30-yard line. Nice tackle in the open field.
Yeah.
By Nash Gleason.
Nash Gleason making a nice wrap up and knockdown there on Tyrell Beasley.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on down there between the lines right now, but you know, if I can say one thing, I saw Beasley out of the shotgun there, kind of dancing as he's getting ready for the ball, and that's, you know, you win with class, you lose with class, and you know, it's one of those things where it's one thing to go out and beat your opponent, but when you're on the opposite side of the ball out there, when you see someone acting like that, there's going to be a lot more to be said.
And now we got Whaley back at the quarterback spot.
Whaley jumps in at quarterback, looking left to throw. He's going deep towards the end zone, and this one would have been picked off by Mackey. He lets it hit the turf anyways. He wishes he would have picked it off, but really better served by falling incomplete.
On fourth down, you got to let it go.
The Spectrum will get the ball back here on that loss of downs. Things got a little bit weird there at the end of that possession. We'll see if things get cleaned up here with Spectrum getting the football now. We're at 135 yards of total penalties between the two teams now tonight.
Yeah, both teams have been certainly
So here comes Spectrum back on offense. 8:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Trailing 27-6.
Moss the ball carrier up the middle.
On that carry, Moss in the middle of the defense picks up a tough 3 yards right there.
Taken down there by Gibson for the Centaurs.
Spectrum player's down, but he's not hurt. He's just tying his shoes.
Yep.
Moss picks up 3 on that first down play, and one of those situations now where the urgency from Spectrum probably not going to be there as much. You know, with 3 scores down, you've only put one in the end zone. You just want to put together one solid drive here rather than concentrating on getting 3 drives.
I think there needs to be an urgency in that you need to get things going now.
Mackey gets to the edge of the Brooklyn Center defense, cuts it up, a couple yards short of that first down. He worked really hard to get to the edge. Then when he cut it up, he got tackled in the open field. Nice play over there on the far side by Gabor, keeping him short of that first down.
It was a nice gain of about 4 or 5 yards. Third and medium at 3 yards.
Where's your bows? Oh, now you finally can make it up there to say hi.
3rd down and 3 now for the Sting. Fake the handoff to Mackey and keeping it as Moss. And Moss will have the first down. Needed 3, got 4. Even though there was some kind of collision in the backfield between Mackey and Moss,
Yeah,
Moss was still able to get upfield.
Moss knocked Mackey down with one good shoulder shot right there.
Yeah, I'm good. Just accept it.
First down now for the Sting as they move the chains on that carry from Moss, who's put in a lot of work in the backfield for the Sting tonight. This one stays with Herlin. And
Herlin gets up a pretty good gain there.
6 yards straight up the middle.
There's nothing really wild about this Spectrum offense, but when they execute it, they do very well. They just need to figure out how to do things without getting penalized so much.
This will be Moss as he fakes to Harlan. He gets upended at the 50-yard line. Nice tackle by Mason in the open field.
Third down and 1.
So 3rd down and 1 upcoming now. Big conversion for the Sting upcoming. Handoff low to Harlan, and those are the ones that he was fumbling in the first half. Low snap, and he's almost taking off before the ball gets to him.
Right.
Because he's in such a hurry to get upfield and get that first down.
That is a Sting first down.
He does get the necessary yard, picks up about 1.5 yards on that carry. And Spectrum is moving a little bit now here. They move the chains once again. Now it's Moss who goes up off tackle right side. Gets 6 yards on that carry. As that offensive line for Spectrum continues to work.
Moss ball carrier. Taken on the play by Gibson. 2nd down 5.
A lot of the key players for the Spectrum team are young, so they'll have opportunities to grow in this offense and this scheme and get better as Harlan keeps that one.
Brings up 3rd down for the Sting.
Harlan will be a senior next year, so a junior running back.
Moss is a sophomore. They've got a good young nucleus of players, but
3rd down and 5 now after that short pickup. Moss takes it, looks left, throws it deep over the top, way overthrows Backy, and there's a flag on the play, most likely on the offense with some illegal procedure, and that will most likely be declined by Brooklyn Center, I would think.
Yep.
Get it to 4th down. You couldn't possibly move them back here just to be more secure in your standing, but
not with 4 minutes, 24 seconds to go in the game.
Well, they are going to move him back. So what do we know? Move him back. So it'll be bringing 3rd down and 10 upcoming.
Motion on this Sting, 5-yard penalty.
Clock stop, 4:24 to go in the 4th quarter. 3rd down and 10. Moss gives it to Harlan, and Harlan is going to be tackled in the backfield for a big loss. Shooting across the back there was an Ikre Mejia Canales. And making that big play in the backfield. Nice little speed from the linebacking position.
Yeah.
Blows that play up.
That'll make it 4th down and 15 for the Sting.
Yeah.
Fourth down and 15 now for Spectrum. Unbalanced line to the left. 3 backs in the backfield. Moss is looking to pass downfield. He's got an open target and he overthrows him. And it nearly gets intercepted. A diving attempt there by Gabor. Gabor's shaking up a little bit in the play. No, that's Mason still down. Look at that play by Gabor, though. What an athletic play. You don't want to catch it in that situation, but
that was a great effort.
Gabor's been a nice player. I mean, he's not the biggest guy back there, but he's been all over the field.
Yeah,
tonight.
he's done a good job tonight.
Might see some new members of the Centaurs touch the football here in this final possession, perhaps. Third, 3:32 to go. 1st down and 10. Ball on the left hash for Brooklyn Center. It'll be Whaley coming out at quarterback, and Menden will be the running back. Menden gets the ball right up the middle, and he sprints through the defense all the way down inside the 20-yard line before he's finally taken down.
At the 19-yard line. That is a Centaur first first down.
Well, here's Menden just taking the ball straight up the middle of the formation.
28-yard
Nobody
carry.
there till he gets all the way to Mackey coming over from his defensive back position. Menden went right by the linebackers like they were planted.
First down now for Wheelie in the offense, and he hands it off to Menden. Menden breaks it out to the left side, and it's tackled there inside the 15. Another nice pickup for Menden. Rufus Menden, a sophomore who played wide receiver, plays some defense here tonight, and now is getting some ball.
Absolutely.
The running back position.
He's had a very productive night. He's helped out a lot on defense, made a couple of big plays on defense.
Second down and a short 2. Wheelie throws it right side to Beasley. Beasley gets out of one tackle, sprints away from a second, runs over a guy into the end zone, and he goes. And a flag comes in late.
Flag on the play.
Beasley just ran over Josiah Bondi to get into the end zone. We'll see what the flag is.
Might be an illegal block in the back right as he was going into the end zone. The ball flag was right down there on the 2 or 3 yard line.
It's going to be a head thing. They're saying that someone used the crown of their helmet to make a hit. Will it be offensive or defensive is the question. Personal foul. It's Beasley. The way he lowered his helmet, he's being called for targeting the way he lowers his helmet. Take a look. Turbo button. He used his helmet there, they say.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know.
Personal foul on the Centaurs.
Bill, I'm glad I'm glad they didn't have penalties like that back when I played because I used my helmet for leverage.
Yeah, we could have had a lot of those.
I mean, the referee, when he saw it, he might have seen him lower his head and really point his head at him. But when you watch the replay, you just don't see that.
Right.
You see a guy lowering for impact, but he wasn't doing anything with his head.
He wasn't targeting anybody.
No.
Yeah.
Out to the 17-yard line, second
You know, and while I agree that we have to make the game as safe as possible and take the head out of the play as much as possible, it's just you can't do it. That's why we wear helmets. You know,
Wheelie back to pass on second down into the end zone. And that one falls incomplete. So that'll bring up third down.
That brings third down and about 7 for the Centaurs.
Menden gets the ball up the middle, and he's met by a host of Spectrum defenders in the backfield. He'll get taken down for a loss. That'll bring up fourth down. Great play in the backfield there by Dakota Woolhouse. Brings up fourth down and 10 now as Brooklyn Center will try to convert here and get the ball into the end zone one last time here tonight on homecoming night 2014. Trying to beat their win total from last year where they won 2 games, went 2-6 in the regular season and then fell in the playoffs. Whaley back to pass, looking across the middle. He's got a receiver open and they got it for a touchdown. Romel Carr brings it in.
It's about the third pass tonight that Whaley has completed as he was being hit. Romel Carr making a nice grab on the ball. Another touchdown for Brooklyn Center.
33-6 now as Wiley comes on to attempt the extra point. And they need to get that final player on the field.
It's always a good idea to have 11 out there.
High snap handled, but Wiley's kick is going to be just a little bit to the left there and short. So at 33-6.
33, Sting, 6.
A minute 31 to go in the game here, and Spectrum will get one last opportunity to get the football. So Willie, I mean, let's talk about Chester Willie. That they haven't had to pass the football here tonight because they've been able to kind of run the ball, not at will, but when they wanted to.
Right.
In a tougher game, tougher opponent. Do they have the right combination back there? They played Beasley and Whaley kind of 50-50, but when Whaley's in the game, there's a passing threat. When there's Beasley's in the game, there's a threat of a quarterback that can run into the house anytime.
Yeah, and it's a good combination. Both guys have performed well tonight and have done what they needed to do. I think going forward, BC has to, they got to look and see, well, what are our opponents' defenses like, and where do we want to go? Coach Finley said they would rather be more of a running team than a passing team, but we've seen tonight that they can be effective throwing the ball if they if they will just take the time to do it.
And the biggest thing is they believe they have a lot of athletes that need to touch the ball because they're also dynamic. The best way you can do that is if you can throw the ball accurately. You can spread it out and get it to more people.
Yep. You got guys like Menden and
the accuracy problem has been a problem in the past for Whaley, and they're trying to get that under control. And look, tonight was a good step in the right direction. Hansen returns that one. Connor Hansen brings it up the left side. He's tackled just out around the 26-yard line where Spectrum will take over. Spectrum, in their history, 5 wins in the school's this is their 3rd year of football. Last year, winning 2 football games. Won 33-29 over St. Anthony Village. Or sorry, that's Brooklyn Center. My apologies. Won 22-21 over West Lutheran, who they also beat in their first year, and they also beat Minnesota Academy of the Deaf last year, 20-12. The previous year, they beat Minnesota Academy of the Deaf one time, and they also beat West Lutheran, and they also beat Minneapolis North.
Harburg, the ball carrier, taking down by number 89, on Potley. Pick up a 4 on the play, 2nd down 6.
And we're going to be, this will be the last possession, assuming that Spectrum is probably not going to air the ball out and try to go deep with the pass.
Next week, Bill, Spectrum goes and plays at a school that you're very familiar with, Minnehaha Academy.
Yes.
Oh, look at this run here. Garland gets the corner all the way into the secondary, down the right sidelines, gets pushed out of bounds there, but a big run for Spectrum as he gets that ball into Brooklyn Center territory.
Yeah, Spencer Hurlin does a nice job of reading his blocks, getting around the corner. Now he's using his speed.
We haven't seen him in the open field.
Oh, and a nice stiff arm, too. Boy, he really put the BC player down with that stiff arm.
So Spectrum goes to Minnehaha Academy next week, and Brooklyn Center goes to Concordia Academy.
That might be a pretty good game. Brooklyn Center is going to present some problems for Concordia, particularly with their speed and athleticism.
Brooklyn Center has Concordia, New Life Academy, and St. Agnes left on their schedule. So there's some wins maybe still out there for them.
That's right, and they could get themselves set up for a position in the playoffs where they might have to play this Sting team again.
St. Clair Lutheran sitting out there too. That's not the friendliest of ones out there.
No.
But for Spectrum, they got Minnehaha, St. Paul Academy, Mountain Park Academy, and they play at Providence Academy. So that Providence Academy one's not going to be a fun one for Spectrum.
No, Providence is a pretty good football team. We saw them against Breck early in the season, and they gave Breck a pretty good introduction to a power football team.
Second down here, Spectrum scrambling to get another playoff. Ball the right side to Moss. Moss gets around the edge, and then the ball goes down on the ground. It's going to be scooped up and returned by Brooklyn Center as time expires. So a nice night for Brooklyn Center. Homecoming night. They come here tonight against Spectrum, and they take care of business, and they get the win on homecoming night. You got to feel good for the Centaurs, and for Spectrum, they go to 0-5 and a difficult one to swallow here tonight. And sometimes when you lose, you say, well, at least you got out of here healthy. For Spectrum, you can't even say that tonight.
No, they really took it on the chin tonight. They, after the first quarter, they just could not get anything going offensively, and they made just enough mistakes defensively to give Brooklyn Center the opportunity to score, and BC did.
So there you see the two teams shake hands. We'll take a final break here, and then we'll come back with some reaction from some of the players from the Centaurs after this break.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And Shelter Pets make super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a Shelter Pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Homecoming night and a victory in the books for Brooklyn Center as Lindsey Genzel standing by now with Tyrell Beasley and Jason Bartow for Brooklyn Center.
Thanks so much, guys. No doubt an exciting night for these two seniors. They each scored 2 touchdowns. Now, Tyrell, talk about it a little bit. Second half, you guys had an injury delay, but you guys definitely came out and made your presence known. What was going through your mind in that delay?
We just kept the player in our hearts, and we kept moving forward. We stayed as a family, and we had that player in our heart, and we thought it could be anybody. So we stayed as a family and kept it pushing.
Over 100 yards for you tonight on top of those 2 TDs. It's got to feel pretty special considering it's homecoming and you're the senior.
Yeah, it's my last year. I try my hardest with everything. I go 100 with everything.
Jason Bartow, we didn't know how much we'd see you in the second half because of a little hamstring issue, but 2 touchdowns. You had 84 yards in the first half. What was it like going into that second half not knowing how your leg was going to hold up?
Oh, man, my leg, I just don't even know how to explain it, but it kind of made me mad that I couldn't play the second half, but I feel good because I did good the first half, but overall, I had a good game.
A lot of guys getting action tonight, an athletic team for you, and a lot of people making this win for you tonight. It's got to feel pretty great as a senior going out on homecoming night with the W.
Yes, it does. It really does. And, yeah, the team we played good, and we played as family, so, yeah.
That's all that matters. The Brooklyn Center Centaurs taking home the W tonight over the Spectrum Sting. A big win for them in front of the home crowd on homecoming night.
Thank you very much, Lindsey. Great job tonight. And we will not want to leave the airwaves tonight with just wishing the best for Thomas Ogren and his family and the whole Spectrum team as he left the game in the third quarter with what we believe to be a neck injury. Hoping that it's not as serious as sometimes those things may seem. And we hope everything's okay with Spectrum. They fall to 0-5 here tonight. For Brooklyn Center, they win on homecoming night. They go to 3-2 and did an excellent job winning here on homecoming tonight. 3 wins, eclipsed last year's 2 victory seasons, so they are on the right track right now. And you heard them talk about their family, really trying to change the tradition back to the way it once was here at Brooklyn Center. So there you have it for Bill Hunstock, for Lindsey Genzel, and the entire crew at Channel 12. Thanks for watching. I'm Joe Moline. So long and good night.